Paper Mario: The Origami King may not be the return to form for the Paper Mario series like many hoped it would be, but it's still a great adventure game with clever writing, stunning visuals, and an amazing soundtrack. The gameplay in The Origami King is a combination of exploration, light platforming, and turn-based battles. Exploration is the best part of the gameplay. Locations are packed full of secrets and collectibles that encourage you to explore every nook and cranny. My favorite places to explore were the big, wide-open spaces like the scorching sandpaper desert and the Great Sea. There's also some light platforming elements, just basic things like jumping over gaps and navigating around obstacles, but it mixes up the gameplay so there's more to do than just battling. And speaking of battles, sadly they're the weakest part of the overall gameplay. Just like the last two Paper Mario games, there is no experience system of any kind, which means the only benefit to battling is getting more coins, which are spent on weapons for battles. There are other things to purchase with coins, but you'll find more than enough coins while exploring to buy the necessary items to progress the story. All of this means that battling feels a little pointless, because there is no real reward for combat unless you want to build up a massive amount of coins. The problem is that battling takes up such a large part of the game. A lot of your time will be spent in this annoying combat cycle. The new battle system has you solving puzzles before you can attack, and while it doesn't get old as fast as I thought it would, it does get a little repetitive towards the end of the game. The combat is better than it was in Color Splash, but it still could be improved. Thankfully, the boss battles are much more fun. These cinematic encounters are a great way to end each section. The biggest highlight of the gameplay is the exploration. The battling system is still not as good as it should be, leading to some frustration while in combat. The visuals in this game are fantastic. Each area of the world is so diverse and unique, with colors and visual themes that create memorable locations. There's everything from a Japanese-inspired theme park to a celestial spa resort high above the clouds. And every location has a visual style of paper and crafting materials. The walls are made of cardboard, the ground looks like paper, and the enemies are origami. There's an impressive level of detail in every location you visit, which makes exploration that much more enjoyable. I was constantly taking screenshots of all the beautiful landscapes you traverse across. Like most Nintendo games, there are bright and vibrant colors used everywhere, so the visuals never look bland. I was always excited to get to a new area so I could take in all of its visual beauty. I love when Nintendo games break away from the basic themes that are so overused and create distinct and creative new locations. I really liked the visual difference between the good guys and the bad guys. If they're made of paper, they're on your side, but if they're origami, they're enemies. This made it instantly obvious who you can talk to and who will attack you. Once again, the Switch is home to another visually impressive Nintendo game. The story is another area where this game shines. While it's still nothing groundbreaking, Origami King has more characters and lore than the past two Paper Mario games. Partners return, and although they don't work like they used to, they are a nice addition that create more interesting interactions as you progress through the story. It's nice to see a bad guy other than Bowser be the main villain again, and Bowser and his minions are your allies this time, which leads to some pretty funny moments. Olivia is a great companion, her innocence is very charming, and she even has some real emotional moments. The entire story can be surprisingly heartfelt at parts, and once again the writing is hilarious. There are so many jokes that I genuinely laughed out loud at, but I won't spoil any of them here. There are so many memorable characters you'll meet throughout your adventure, as well as some strange villains. Many of the bosses you will fight are crafting tools such as tape or rubber bands. They may seem boring and uninteresting at first, but each has a unique personality that makes them much more entertaining. The story was much better than I was expecting. It was full of jokes, moments, and characters that made playing through the game a ton of fun. By far, my favorite part of The Origami King was the music. The soundtrack in this game is incredible. There are so many amazing songs that have catchy tunes and create a great sense of atmosphere. No matter what you are doing, there's always a fitting song to listen to. There's also multiple unexpected musical numbers that happen throughout the game. They are delightfully weird and wacky and make you want to jump up and dance. The sign of a truly great soundtrack is when it makes other parts of the game more enjoyable, and that's exactly what happens here. I may not have enjoyed battles, but they were made less painful by the terrific music. One thing I really appreciated was the variety. Each area of the game has different battle music, so you never get sick of it, and the Toad Town theme continues to evolve and change the further you get into the story. The music always created the perfect mood. It was creepy at just the right moments and adventurous when it needed to be. Alongside the visuals, the music was another reason I was so excited to progress the story and get to the next part of the game. This score is one of my favorites from any Nintendo game in the past couple years, and a big reason why this game was so much fun. There is more than enough content in this game for you to get your money's worth. There's a massive amount of collectibles to find, and they're all kept in the museum in Toad Town. I love when games put everything you have collected into one place for you to look back on. There's even some extra art for you to unlock, as well as some trophies that work like achievements. One of my favorite new changes is that the world map is gone. This adds a lot of replayability to each area. They change and evolve as you play, providing more incentive to go back and explore. There is an insane amount of toads that are hidden all over in clever ways, and each one has a funny joke to tell you once you save them. There's also holes in the environment that you can fix that unlock music for you to listen to back in the museum. Just getting through the main story will take you around 25 to 30 hours, and that's not counting going back to each area to find all the hidden secrets. Paper Mario: The Origami King is a fun, hilarious, and entertaining adventure that I enjoyed from start to finish. The combat is the biggest flaw, and it's a shame that such a large part of the game is focused on battles that feel pointless and repetitive. But the story, visuals, and music are all fantastic, creating a world that you want to spend more time in. It's a different type of game than the older Paper Marios, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Paper Mario: The Origami King is a great game that gave me hours of fun and enjoyment, and is an adventure worth going on. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see ya in the next one.